Because I'm not, Andrew, I don't know if you like homeschool, private school, public school. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing what I think is best to help my children get to heaven. And I've got to embrace that. This is about being a radical disciple of Jesus Christ. So right now, my kids are in private school right now. I'm spending a mortgage, more than a mortgage payment for my kids to go to school. Every month. That's why I drove here with a car with no air conditioning. Okay? That's crazy. Why? Because we got to do something different. We got to be radical in our lives. Whether you want to talk about being a parent, talk about being a spouse. Listen, there ought to be people that would say, man, I wish I could have a husband like that. I wish I could have a wife like that. Not because you really want them to say, I wish I could have a spouse like that. I've had that happen once, and that was really awkward. Okay? But, long story, okay? But this idea of, man, I don't treat my wife the way that other people treat their wife. I tell my children the very best husband is a Christian husband. The very best wife is a Christian wife. And I'm not talking about somebody that just sits in a pew on Sundays. I'm not. Because there are a lot of people sitting in a pew that I don't want you to marry. But there needs to be something different about the way that I treat my spouse. There needs to be something different about what we entertain ourselves with. Why do we live in a world where people, even in the church, are so hardened against God and so in love with the things of the world? Can I suggest that one reason probably is because we constantly expose ourselves to ungodliness? Don't we? Whether we're going to the movie theater, or we're turning on the radio, or maybe just ungodly things that are constantly bombarding us, and we don't run away from it. We don't flee from it. We actually entertain ourselves with those things. And I know that Christianity is not all about what you do watch or you don't watch. I'm just telling you that people who are in love with the Lord don't take pleasure in those ungodly things. We think about what we do with our money. Can't be like everybody else. One day you're going to make a lot of money. Right? It's the plan. Right? Is that the plan for everybody? Right? I hope so, but I can't be like everybody else. You're going to spend a big chunk of your life trying to keep up with the Joneses and realize that you can't keep up with the Joneses. You can't do what everybody else does. Hey, if I'm going to let God control my standard of living, it's a whole other lesson for a whole other time, but how much we have to give and even how we ought to go beyond the tithe and things of that nature, another lesson for another time. But listen, if I'm going to let God control me, then my standard of living is going to be lower than someone who doesn't care about God, which this world is full of. So we're going to make the same amount of money, but he's going to have a nicer car than me. They're going to have a nicer house than me. Why? Because I care about God. Because I worship God. Because I honor God with what he's given to me. That's crazy in the world we live in, isn't it? But that's that piece that's missing when it comes to sharing our faith. Come on. Whether you're in high school or middle school or the workplace, we're taught our whole lives. Don't be too pushy. Right? Don't be too pushy. And don't ever let someone think that you actually don't think that they're a Christian. That you don't think that they're saved. Don't talk too much about Jesus. That just gets really awkward really fast. And I know we're not actually taught those things. Like, I've never heard a preacher actually get up and say those things. But I know it's how most people feel. Guys, that's completely different from what I see in the life of Jesus. That's completely different. I see someone who's defined by sharing his faith, by spreading the good news. We got a problem. We got a problem with people who don't share their faith, even if they talk about sharing their faith. That's what the guy last weekend, and he was telling me, the preacher, he said, he loved to talk about evangelism. You know what he was telling me about this thing, he likes to tell people about they got into this, they got it. And I asked him, I said, so how many Bible studies you had, in the last 6 months? Man, you're on fire for the Lord, right? And you must be tearing it up. That's how preachers. That's not just the problem with preachers, it's with our members, right? What's missing? I've never actually told someone about Jesus Christ. I stood in front of the church and said, I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, and I'll obey the gospel. But I've never sat down with my buddies whenever we're talking about what's going on and said, hey, do you believe in Jesus?
Yes.
Yeah. Easy to say here, isn't it? To move that out. That's the attitude. But some people lose it. I've never sat with my girlfriend and said, hey, I want you to come to church with me. I want you to study the Bible with me. I know there are 50 bajillion questions I don't know the answer to. But I want to share with you what I know. I mean, this everybody can tell me who Jesus Christ is. Can we do that? So we look at our faith and we say, man, this seems like something is missing. I know something's missing, and what's missing is me. What's missing is me saying, I'm done playing church. I'm done doing it like everybody else does it. I want to reflect Jesus Christ in this world. Because there's supposed to be something more. And when we stand before the Lord and we say, Lord, here am I. You take me and you make me into something that I could never even imagine. Guys, that missing piece will be there. And you'll be filled with intensity and hope and peace and joy and fulfillment like you never have been before. But until I stand before Him, until I take my heart and I put it in His hand, and make up my mind that I'm going to be a radical disciple of Jesus Christ, there'll always be something missing. That's what we're going to talk about today. How do we put that missing piece in our lives? Appreciate everybody listening. We'll take a little break. Probably about 8, 9 minutes, and we'll come back at the hour. Okay? Thank you guys for being here today.